What's up, y'all? Harkos here. So I'm just gonna be straightforward and blunt. People don't buy tapes, CDs, or records to listen to them for the music anymore. Now I know some of y'all are thinking, yeah, duh, Harkos, it's 2024. What the fuck are you talking about? I keep seeing a lot of independent artists who are trying to hop on this trend, because that's what it is. It's a trend. It's not a marketing thing. It's a trend. Well, it's a marketing trend. But anyway, of trying to offer cassette tapes or CDs or even albums to their fan base. And while I'm all for that because it offers a nostalgia factor and then it actually shows you who your super fans are, while I'm all for it, I have to say what I just said at the beginning. People are not buying it to listen to your music on it, okay? You'll have some of the rare audio files. If you don't know what an audio file is, it's not an MP3. It's audio file with a PH, okay? Go Google it. But you have some of those who want to listen to music on a record player and shit like that. But 99% of the people who are going to buy a tape, CD, or a record from you as an artist, they're not going to listen to it on it. They're not. For one, most of them don't even have the equipment to do it. They're just buying it, not only to support you, but also to signal to themselves and to you and to any of their friends that they are a super fan of you. And it signals some other stuff too psychologically, but we're just going to keep it like that. So whenever I see people are like, oh, I'm going to try selling it, it's like, look, you have to have at least 100 people willing to give you $20 to $30 for that item in order for it to work out properly. Because I keep seeing people do it. Over the last couple years, I've been seeing this trend. And I see a lot of artists do it. And they'll go, because you got to buy that shit up front as an artist, okay? It's not on demand shit. You got to buy them in bulk first. So people will go and buy it. Sometimes they'll even make the CDs themselves, you know what I'm saying, old school. But they'll go and buy it in bulk. And then they'll go try selling it. And then they'll get pissed when they don't move. And be like, yo, nobody supports local artists anymore. Nobody supports the up and coming underground artist. Blah, blah, blah. They start crying. And it's like, no, you thought since you were getting 5, 10, 20,000 streams a month on Spotify that you'd be able to push some shit like that. You thought because you had 2, 3, 5, maybe even 10,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok that you'd be able to move some shit like that. But in reality, most of your followers are other artists, because y'all do follow for follow shit. You guys go up in these Facebook groups and try pushing your music and wonder why it's not moving. It's because you're trying to sell to other people who are trying to sell the same thing too. It's not like you're trying to push your music, you're trying to sell your music to chefs or to even keep it in music. You're trying to sell it to beat producers, right? I've had a couple of beat producers who say they love my music and they're a fan, right? But I've hardly had any artists say anything like that. And whenever they do say that, it's not because I was like, yo, check out my new shit. It's because I started building a networking relationship with them, some way, shape, or form. And then they're like, yo, let me check out your music. So they'll either say it to me personally and then I'll shoot them with the link, or they'll just go to my profile page, check out my website, and go and, check out my Spotify. They'll look me up on Spotify, whatever. They'll go and find my shit. And they'll listen to it and be like, yo, man, I just heard blah, blah, blah. That's dope. Or they'll see one of my posts on social media. Yo, that's dope. And they'll message me personally about it. But that shit is rare as well, too. 99% of the people that you will have in these fucking groups are artists trying to sell to other artists. Yeah, they may follow your page. Yeah, they may like it. Yeah, they may even hit the share button once. but they're not gonna be an avid streamer. They're not gonna be taking you any money to support you in any way, shape, or form. They're not gonna buy your shit. They're not gonna support you. These are some marketing tactics that I keep seeing people do, and it hurts my fucking head, because I see artists get discouraged when shit like this doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work, well, the follow for follow shit, that should be self-explanatory. I think I just explained it. But to go back to the first point, the reason that you can't move even 100 items, even though you got tens of thousands of fucking streams, you got, thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of followers on all your social media, is because of the fact that you don't have real fans of your shit. Straight up, you don't. You don't even have casual listeners. A lot of the things that a lot of these artists run into is y'all are doing certain things to get vanity metrics and make yourself feel good, because you think that, oh man, if I got the appearance like I'm popping, people might actually think I'm popping. No. Appearance has a lot to do with things, but strictly appearance doesn't mean shit. Okay? Doesn't mean shit. Because whenever you actually go in and look at the back end, go ahead. When you run one of those bullshit ass fucking playlist campaigns, okay? Doesn't matter where you do it. Doesn't matter if you do it through Submit Hub or you do it through some motherfucker you found on social media. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if, they claim it's organic or not. Sorry, my dog's got wrapped around a tree. Anyway, it doesn't matter if they say it's organic streams or not. If you go into your metrics, you go to your Spotify for podcasters, and you look up your streams, right next to the amount of streams and right next to the listeners, it'll say streams per listener. If that's anything less than 5, you don't have shit going on. Unless you only have 4 songs out, okay? If you got 10 or more songs on your Spotify and you are at 5 or less, you don't have fans, okay? I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You don't have fucking fans. What you're doing is you're running playlists and bots and maybe a couple organic people here and there, but most of the time it's stream teams and bots. Okay, that's what you're doing. But if you are getting over 5 streams per listener, and no matter what amount of music you have out, you are doing good. You actually have fans. Even, you know what? One place that I've seen this a lot is artists that have low stream totals have a higher streams per listener rate, which that actually shows you, hey, look, you actually have real fans. You just don't have that many. And that's cool. Because now what you can do is somebody like that. See, I work with artists, right? I can work with an artist like that easier than I can somebody who's got a 1.2 or even a 2.0 stream per listener rate. Because the 1.2 to the 2.0, and for those of y'all who don't know, that means that for every listener that comes to your Spotify, they're only listening to 1 song, and the occasional person is listening to 2 songs. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, but anyway, because it's an average. See, a lot of y'all don't know math, and that's just a problem right there. But anyway, I'm not gonna fucking go down that rabbit hole. I'm talking about basic math too. I'm talking about business math. I'm not talking about fucking calculus and fucking pre-cal and shit like that. Algebra. It's basic percentages. Law of percentages. Anyway. I can work with an artist who's only getting a couple hundred streams a month, maybe even 1,000 streams a month. If their streams per listener is above 5, I can work with them because you actually know that they have a fan base. And you know what that fan base likes. You know who that fan base is, what type of person they are, everything like that. Everything like that. And then when you go to their social media and they got low social media following, it tells you even more too. You're like, oh, I know who your fan base is. I know what your fan base likes. Look at your content. This is what they like. This is what they don't like. It's so much easier to fucking see. But see, a lot of people, they would much rather have 20 or 30,000 streams on their new song when it just came out in the first couple weeks. And they would much rather have 5, 10,000 followers on all their social media accounts and stuff like that. And what's really funny is you hardly ever see somebody with 5 or 10,000 followers on Facebook, for instance, or even TikTok, who also have anywhere near that amount of subscribers on their YouTube channel. Hardly ever. You'll see them have 100 or 200 on their YouTube. And that goes to say a lot too. That goes to say, oh, look, you're not using YouTube Shorts. That's the social media of YouTube. You're not using that. You know, once you get over, what's it, 1,000? Yeah, I think it's once you get over 1,000 subscribers or 100. Can't remember off the top of my head. I haven't eaten anything today. I've been out here on a walk for like almost 3 miles now. Anyway, once you get over a certain threshold on YouTube, you unlock the community feature, right? Where you can have community chat and stuff like that, community posts. It's pretty dope. But anyway, all these things say a lot. A lot. When your YouTube is dead, but your Spotify's bumping, and then we go into your DistroKid, for instance, and look at your stream breakdown per service provider, and 99% of it is Spotify, that means you don't have a fan base. Why do I say that? Well, because what's it like, almost a 50-50 split between Android and iPhone, which also means it should be at least a 60-40 split between iTunes or Apple Music and Spotify. 100%. Just went down a hill. But anyway, so this is where I start my day, and this is where I get my brain going. Look at this. It's a little dead out here because you know, it's the first part of March, but don't worry. By the end of the month, all this shit will be green, man. Green, green, green. Anyway. Oh, a frog. A little froggy. That's cool. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah. So, you should have at least a 60-40 split between Spotify and Apple Music. And it may even only be a 40% on Apple Music. But if it's almost a 50-50 split between iPhone and Android, you should see something similar between Spotify and Apple Music or iTunes. You just should. Why? Because when you get a fucking iPhone, which I don't have, when you get that, you also get Apple Music and iTunes on there with that. And so that's where you normally listen to shit. Okay? That's just how it goes, man. When you're in the cult, you use the cult products. You know, straight up. And iPhone's a cult. Anyway. Alright, here's a little bit of wind, so hopefully it doesn't affect my microphone with y'all. But all these things, I'm not going to make this too much longer. I'm hitting up on the 15-minute mark. All these things are things that you need to worry about as an artist. Okay, you need to worry about having real followers on social media. You need to worry about having real streams. You need to worry about having real followers on all your streaming accounts, everything like that, before you can even think about trying to sell a tape, CD, or record. It's just fucking asinine to think about it. And y'all don't know what asinine means? It's fucking ridiculous. All right? Because you're out here trying to sell to no one. That's what you're doing. You're selling to the imaginary person. You're selling to what you think you have and what you want to have, but not really what you have. Straight up. And then you want to bitch because nobody's supporting you. Well, it's because you don't have real supporters. And I'm saying all this because I saw somebody make a post on my Facebook. My Facebook is mainly comprised of artists, but that's because I'm actually trying to market to artists to help them with their marketing. I'm not out here trying to be like, yo, check out my newest track, Unstoppable, blah, 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 right? No. My music goes to people who like my music. And my marketing shit goes to people who need or like my marketing shit. See what I'm saying? I'm not out here trying to sell marketing services to somebody who doesn't even make music. Okay? Anyway. Anyway, I saw somebody make a post say, oh, artists, stop prioritizing streams, start selling tapes or start selling CDs and records. And I said, I agree with the first, I disagree with the second. And they said, why? And I said, because people don't fucking buy tapes and CDs. There's way more. I was like, because tapes and CDs, there's more things that somebody can do to monetize their music and their musical brand than selling tapes and CDs. And he said, well, Curtis King does. I said, Curtis King gained a presence for some other shit, and he's able to use that as the tool. And he said, well, yeah, but you got to have a presence to stream good too. I said, that is correct. You do have to have a good presence to stream good. However, you have to have a higher presence of not just people who are fly-by-night listeners or watchers of your shit, but actual real fans to throw you $20. And on top of that, I don't trust Curtis King as far as I could probably throw his ass. I've been working out lately. I don't think I can throw him very far. All right. And so I don't trust him because I've caught him fucking saying some bullshit multiple times. And, you know, look, people already caught me saying some bullshit sometimes too. But I caught him saying some shit that sounds formulated as a lie, not as, oh, yo, he just was misinformed. No. So the fact that he wants to be like, oh, I'm taking all my shit off of fucking Spotify and now I'm just going to sell fucking tapes and CDs. I'm like, okay, how are you moving those when most of your audience comes to check you out for music marketing advice? How? See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm sure there's some people who are wanting to do it, but I think he's bullshitting on a lot of stuff. And he can show numbers. He ain't got to prove to me shit. All right? I don't like Curtis King for a myriad of reasons. One of them is which I think he's a fucking liar. But anyway, when I see artists who have nowhere near the following and the reach and the presence that Curtis King has, saying, well, Curtis King does it. Okay, get Curtis King numbers on all the other shit and then start selling tapes and CDs. See what I'm saying? Once you have tens of thousands of subscribers on YouTube who are constantly tuning in to all your shit, once you are able to monetize all your views off of YouTube and you're making, you know, a G or more a month off of fucking your YouTube, your social media platforms and stuff like that are fucking popping like a motherfucker, you're actually monetized on those as well too. Because he ain't just monetized on YouTube, y'all. He's monetized on Facebook. He's probably monetized on TikTok. There's, you gotta be kind of high to get that, so you might not. But he's probably monetized on Twitter, Instagram, shit like that, right? People don't look at that. People who are not monetizable, who are not being monetized, who don't have a fucking following at all, who can't get more than 5 comments on any one of their random posts on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok even, you can't sell tapes and CDs. This is how it works. So until you get Curtis King following and activity numbers, don't try selling it. Don't do it. The only way I would say go ahead and do it is if you legitimately had 50 people in your DMs saying, hey man, I want to buy some merchandise off of you. What do you have available? Then you can start doing that. But until then, you got to work on your brand and you got to work on getting an active following base. Okay? Because that's another thing too. I fucking put out a post said, hey, what's one marketing tactic that you've tried or failed? And this one guy said, promo and advertising. I said, okay, well, that's a very, very broad. What did you try? After about 7 messages later, he finally ended up telling me that he was posting in Facebook groups. I said, well, that's where you fucked up, man, because Facebook groups are just full of a lot of artists who are trying to fucking promote to each other. They're not even trying to They're not even trying to cross promote via features. Okay? When you go into these Facebook groups, they're not even trying to cross promote via features. They're like, yo, sub for sub, sub for sub, follow for follow, shit like that. Yo, I'll do a stream for you and stuff like that. And I've tested all this shit. I've done it. I fell victim to all these dumbass fucking tactics before myself. I've paid for fucking, playlisting and fucking stream team shit. I've done that shit before. I stopped doing all that shit in 2019. Straight up. Because it's garbage. It doesn't work. So that's why I'm here telling y'all. Think about what y'all are doing. You have to be strategic with the shit. And you also have to have legitimate shit going on in order to think about doing anything like that. So if y'all were coming up to me and saying, yo, Hardcoast, this is my marketing plan, I want to sell tapes and CDs, I'd say, okay, have you ever sold anything to your fan base before? They're like, no. I'm like, not even $1 download? No. Okay. No, you're not doing it until you can at least sell 1,000 people a $1 download. Okay? Unless you can sell 1,000 $1 downloads, don't think about trying to sell a fucking $10, $15, $20 fucking CD. Don't try selling a $25, $30 t-shirt, a $20 fucking hoodie, nothing like that. Don't try doing it. And see, I'm not here telling y'all not to do it. When I legitimately can be making money, hooking y'all up with the way on how to sell that shit. I got connections to where I can fucking build you a motherfucking store and you can start selling shirts and hoodies and fucking stickers and all that shit, right? I got connections to all that shit. But guess what? Until you're ready for it, you ain't ready for it. You're not. Because it's not gonna fucking happen. And when it comes to merch, stop trying to sell shit with your fucking face on it or your album cover on it. People don't give a fuck. Sell something creative that's cool, that's fucking has a saying on it or something. You know? Something that would be trendy. You know? Like the whole Givenchy shit and the Gucci and everything like that. That all started with fucking different cool sayings and cool designs and shit like that. And then the name became a thing. But until then, nah, you got other shit to worry about. You need to get your fans up, real fans up, and then you can worry about making the money. Sell 1,000 $1 downloads, and then holla at me, and I'll connect you and get you a fucking store set up. Hell, I'll even set the store up for you free of fucking charge. All right, no setup fee, not fee to maintain. Fee of no setup fee on my end for me setting up a store for you to start selling fucking t-shirts and hoodies and shit like that. After you show me that you have sold 1,000 $1 downloads on iTunes or on your website, one of the two. I'm for real too. Check me. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna get my fucking day started.